Tears and Goodbye, What Really Happened Between Junho and Im Yoona After Filming Ended. What if I told you, the story didn't end when the camera stopped rolling? What if, behind that final scene, behind the perfect smiles and lingering gazes, something real was quietly breaking apart? Because after the success of King the Land, fans believed they were witnessing more than just chemistry, they believed they were watching love unfold. But when the cameras turned off, when the lights dimmed and the set grew silent, Junho and Im Yoona faced a goodbye that no one saw coming. Hold on tight, K-drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The final night on set. It was supposed to be a celebration, the end of a journey that had made the world fall in love with them. The crew wrapped filming under the soft glow of studio lights. Everyone was laughing, clinking glasses, taking photos. But witnesses later said that when the director called cut for the last time, Junho didn't smile. Yoona turned to him, her eyes glistening, and whispered something no one could hear. He nodded slowly. Then, he walked away. For a moment, it looked like just another emotional farewell between co-stars. But insiders would later reveal that what happened that night was far more personal. The moment everything changed. According to a close source, Junho had been struggling for weeks, torn between his growing affection for Yoona and the pressure from their agencies to keep things strictly professional. He knew their chemistry was real, the source said. But he also knew that if either of them crossed that line, everything, their careers, their reputations, could be at risk. On the final night, after everyone left the set, Junho reportedly returned to the rooftop where they filmed one of their most emotional scenes. Yoona joined him minutes later. The same breeze that once carried laughter now carried silence. He looked at her and said quietly, "If things were different, maybe we could have been too." Yoona didn't answer right away. She just reached out, holding his hand, and for a few fleeting seconds, it was as if they were still on camera, still living inside the world of King the Land. But when she finally spoke, her words shattered that illusion. "Maybe loving you means letting go before the world ruins it." After filming ended. Days later, both actors returned to their separate schedules, interviews, fan meetings, magazine shoots. But fans noticed the change almost immediately. The sparkle in their eyes when they were together on stage? Gone. The playful teasing during interviews? Replaced with polite distance. Clips from press conferences showed subtle tension, Junho looking at Yoona with an expression that felt half longing, half regret. Yoona smiling, but never quite the same. Social media exploded with questions. Did something happen between them? Why do they look so distant now? Were the rumors true all along? But neither spoke. The unsent message. A month after the finale, a fan claimed to have seen Junho at the Han River late one night, sitting alone on a bench. When asked later about it during a radio interview, Junho smiled faintly and said, "Sometimes, when you finish a project that means everything to you, you don't know how to say goodbye, not to the role, not to the memories, not to the person who shared them with you." He paused before adding, "Some stories you carry quietly in your heart." The host moved on to another topic, but fans didn't. They flooded the internet with clips, dissecting every look, every word, every moment. And then, something unexpected happened. Yoona posted a photo on Instagram. A single sunset. No caption. But in the comments, Junho quietly left a single emoji, not a heart, not a smile, just a simple picture, the same sunset they shared during the final episode of King the Land. The internet went wild. The truth from the crew. Weeks later, a staff member who worked closely with both of them broke the silence in a discreet interview. They were real, the staff member said. They cared for each other deeply. But fame can be cruel. There were too many eyes, too many expectations. They wanted to protect something that the world wasn't ready to let them have. The confession confirmed what fans had long suspected. that behind the fiction was a love that never had the chance to bloom. The private goodbye. Months later, at a music awards ceremony, Junho and Yoona crossed paths again. Cameras captured their brief exchange, a soft smile, a small nod, and eyes that said everything words couldn't. Insiders revealed they met privately backstage afterward, no drama, no confrontation, just quiet understanding. He told her he was proud, the insider said. She told him to keep chasing what made him happy. And when they parted ways, Junho reportedly turned back one last time, whispered something under his breath, and smiled through tears. No one knows exactly what he said. But some believe it was simply, "Thank you, for being real when everything else was pretend." The aftermath. Both stars went on with their careers, appearing in new dramas, attending public events. But every time their names appeared together, every time someone mentioned King the Land, a quiet ache seemed to return to fans' hearts. Because deep down, everyone knew that what they saw on screen was not just acting. It was two souls meeting at the wrong time, under the brightest lights. The photo that shook the internet. It started on a fan account, a casual post titled, "Pretty sure I just saw Junho and Yoona in Shibuya?" At first, no one believed it. But when the photo surfaced, and netizens compared their silhouettes, their posture, even the way Junho held his coffee cup, doubt turned into frenzy. The hashtags #Junho Yoona in Tokyo and #King the Land Reunion trended within hours. Millions of fans began replaying the photo, zooming in frame by frame, searching for clues. The question echoed across social media, across fan forums, across every YouTube headline. Are they back together? The insider whisper. According to an anonymous stylist working with a luxury brand in Japan, both actors were indeed in Tokyo at the same time, attending separate events scheduled just 2 days apart. But what no one expected was that they checked into the same hotel. Different floors. Different rooms. But one night, at around 10:43 p.m., CCTV footage reportedly showed them entering the hotel's rooftop garden together. No staff. No cameras. Just the Tokyo skyline, a quiet wind, and two people who still had unfinished words between them. The midnight conversation. A source close to the production team of King the Land later revealed that Junho had reached out to Yoona weeks before the trip, to talk about something important. No one knew what that was. But witnesses at the hotel described a powerful, emotional scene that night. They weren't fighting, one employee said softly. They looked peaceful. Like two people finally saying what they couldn't before. It said they stood on the rooftop for nearly an hour. Junho's hand brushed against hers, hesitant, unsure. Yoona didn't move away this time. For a brief moment, under the Tokyo moonlight, they looked like the characters fans once adored, not acting, not pretending, just real. The return to Seoul. Weeks later, both Junho and Im Yoona were spotted attending a fashion event in Seoul. Different tables, different interviews. But when their eyes met across the room, cameras caught something that every fan felt instantly. That look. That same gentle, knowing look they once shared when the world believed it was just acting. Except now, there were no scripts. No lights. No director yelling cut. Just them. And for a split second, before turning away, Junho smiled. Yoona smiled back. Two stars who had already said goodbye, but never truly let go. Maybe that's the truth about love in the world of fame. It doesn't always need an ending, or a label, or a headline. Sometimes, it just needs one final moment, under Tokyo lights, between two hearts that once met in a story, and kept finding their way back in real life. Because no matter how far they go, no matter how many scripts they read or roles they play, there will always be that quiet night in Tokyo, where Junho and Im Yoona reminded the world that some goodbyes aren't endings. They're beginnings, written in silence.